Hi, I'm Jay. Welcome to today's diary entry, which comes to you via the video format. I said I would do a few of these throughout the experience, and so I just want to say hello and thank everybody for their words of support. And I can't believe how far-reaching the interest has been all over the world. I've been doing radio interviews and TV interviews and newspaper interviews and that kind of thing, and while I know that the story is that interesting, it was surprising to actually have it occur to me. And it's one thing that I didn't really account for. I knew I could drink 4 beers a day and do my job, but I didn't think about drinking 4 beers a day doing my job and fielding lots of phone calls and emails and comments and that kind of thing. So that's been fun, but I don't want to allow myself to get away into the spiritual element of the project as well, which is kind of important to me. So I kind of took the weekend off as far as answering email and paying any attention to the internet and answering my phone. It's been off limits since Friday night, I guess, basically. And so that's been very good. It's been a restful weekend, and I'll get back to that stuff come Monday morning and see how I can help and see how I can get the word out about this interesting story and a bit about the good things that the beer has to offer, whatever that is, and the good things certainly that God has to offer. So I think there's two groups of people that have something to learn from this, and I look forward to being a part of that. Physically, just briefly, I feel really good. It's not been as bad as I thought it would be. I've heard that the first 3 days, perhaps 4 days, are the worst, and if that's what that is, then for me at least, the situation. This hasn't been that crazy. I was prepared for the worst, and for me it wasn't that crazy bad. I was hungry the first day, had a headache certainly that carried into the second day, and just a touch into the third, but I sort of got some time outside walking up and down the street in a crisp, beautiful, clear, bright, refreshing day, and I felt a lot better. And since that time I haven't had a headache at all. Every once in a while, just a touch of hunger, but that kind of quickly subsides. I've weighed myself at the beginning. I was 160.5 pounds, and as of yesterday, I haven't weighed in yet today. I'm trying to do it on a consistent scale. But yeah, as of yesterday, I was 150.5, and that was 10 pounds in basically 3 days. So that was a little bit concerning. I'm hoping that's water as much as anything, and I'm hoping that kind of levels off. Physically, I feel pretty good. I've had lots of energy. These last 2 days, I haven't felt the least bit weak in the morning first thing at all, and I've had plenty of energy. And also Saturday and Sunday, yesterday and today, I've had some time to rest and just kind of get away from the internet, which has been extraordinarily helpful in that regard. What have I learned? I've tried to contemplate all these phone calls and all this stuff crashing in that everybody's interested in and wants me to talk about it here or there, or write about it here or there, and comments all over the world. And so one thing I've learned, that in thinking about it, this sort of occurred to me sort of Friday night, Saturday morning, is that despite all of that busyness, every time I walk up the street or while I'm sitting at my desk at work, I'm acutely aware of the thing that I'm doing and the reasons that I'm doing it. And so, despite the phone ringing and despite my messages beeping on my phone or internet's messages coming in online and my email or on the blog and that kind of thing, I have always been constantly very aware, and so it's almost like a tunnel vision. So despite craziness here, I'm right here, and that's been very cool. I didn't realize it at the time until I really started to think about it on Friday. But there is a tunnel vision when you're in this, when you're doing something like this extended fast. And even just the first few days of it, it's clear. So I guess I'm excited to know that it isn't all this wacky stuff. It's just wacky stuff, but here I am and doing my thing. And so I'm even more aware of that from this point forward. So I'm glad to have kind of figured that out. I really just felt the intense need to take a break from the media. for the weekend at least, and probably I'll do that every Saturday and Sunday. I just don't want to fool with it. I don't want to answer my email on Saturday and Sunday. I want to spend some time with my family, and I want to have that quiet time that I'd already planned on to read and study and think, and just consider this whole fast. So you know, I guess that's been a good enlightening thing, and it only took a 3 days to get to it. And then the other thing I thought about very specifically this morning was this idea of hunger, which first day I was hungry, second day kind of, and it kind of subsided. And every once in a while, sort of 2 o'clock in the afternoon, ooh, I'm a little hungry, or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm a little hungry. That's like it's a thought. It's a thought of hunger. So there's the thought of hunger. There's a fine line, I think, between being hungry and being, you know, sort of filled with desire, and on the food front. And I like food. I like all kinds of food. I'm not like just a straight meat and potatoes missionary position kind of person. You know, meatloaf and hamburger helper or whatever. I like Moroccan food and Thai food and Chinese food and Mediterranean food and everything in between. And so I just really like food. So there are times where I just like really want some tapenade. There are times where I really, you know, would like a slice of stinky cheese. There are times when the Mexican food is you know, last night at my mother-in-law's house, I had some family visiting, my nieces and nephews and my brother-in-law, and you know, the smell of Mexican food in the house was rather destructive. So I absolutely, the smell is killing me. I can defeat that. There's a difference between hunger and desire, and right now I can deal with the hunger because it's only just brief moments of, oh, I'm hungry for this, or that smells good, and ooh, I want that. So really it's just a matter of desire. So anyway, I mean, that's what I've learned today. Hunger, desire, there's a fine line between the two, and so I think I can deal with the hunger to the point at which my body just flat out needs food. There's a difference between wants and needs, and you know, so I need a certain amount of food, and so that's where the fine line is. Right now, I desire food. You know, that there's just a pan of refried beans. I didn't really think about how delicious refried beans smelled until, you know, the last couple of days when I've smelled those cooking on the stovetop. So anyway, I can't wait for Mexican food. I can't wait for Tom's smoothie on Easter morning. I can't wait for bacon. But for the time being, all is well. I can live without it. And physically, amazingly, I'm doing pretty well. So once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and for following, and I really appreciate all the interest. And I hope you know that it's with the best intentions that I share this with you. You know, I just thought everybody would want to listen on, sort of in real time, so to speak. And so that's why I decided to do the blog. I know there have been a few, you know, sort of detracting comments, and that's okay. I can't change anybody's opinion. But until next time, I'll probably do the video thing on Sundays now, and just the regular blog posts day in and day out. So anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. Take care. Appreciate it.